I was about to start this video, realized I didn't have my quad, ran into the vehicle, ran back. Now I'm out of breath. This whole high altitude environment is crazy. Sean's used to this.
When you live here, you get used to it.
Exactly. Anyway, so I got my 7-inch FPV quad with a Hero 9 mount right there. And we have a GoPro Hero 9. On it, we also have the Max Lens mod. And what exactly does the Max Lens mod do?
Well, the Max Lens mod gives it a much wider field of view than what the Super View can do, as well as there is a horizon lock function in it. So even if the camera turns upside down all the way around, your horizon stays level through that entire thing. I use it a lot snowboarding, and it is pretty impressive. It's not quite as impressive to me as, say, the GoPro Hero Max, but it's pretty close.
I've used the Hero 9 a few times. I have not used this mod. You'll see in some of my footage that I shot here in Colorado this week, it's a lot of the GoPro 8 with real steady, shot in 4K 4x3 real steady. However, with this one, we're going to use the built-in stability with horizon lock and see what that looks like with FPV. I have no idea what to expect.
I'm going to suggest we also do a flight with the horizon lock off, so that you can still use the Max Lens mod on and off and you'll still get that stability. My assumption is what you're going to see, especially in FPV quads, is that it sort of has this sort of drunk kind of movement when it goes back and forth with Max Lens mod on. That's something you don't get with the regular lens on, but you need that Max Lens to get that super wide view with horizon lock.
With my 7-inch FPV quad, I have this 3D printed mount. Probably gonna have to cut out little bits of the material to fit that Max Lens mod in. Fits. Nice. That's all I needed. This is in there good. So here's some commentary recorded after the fact. Looking at this flight footage. So this is with horizon lock on, and as you can see, well, it's a very level horizon. Even though I'm turning pretty quick with the drone, I'm banking, I'm really pushing this around some of these corners, and it's a level horizon. Although it's a little bit, I guess, off by a few degrees, but still very level. Now, right here, my first roll, and yeah, the horizon didn't change one bit. That's pretty crazy. I think I do another roll here in a second. Let's see. And right there. So you can see with the props as they kind of go along the edge of the video, you can kind of see how the drone's moving. Now here's horizon lock off, and we already see this banking, this characteristic FPV quad banking, and there's our roll, and it looks normal. So that's a normal FPV quad roll. In both of these examples, we see a healthy amount of prop in view. Because the wide angle mod, lens mod is very wide, we see a lot more prop than potentially we would otherwise. Where horizon lock does not work well is with a power loop. So right here, doesn't really know what to do with the power loop. That was just a simple power loop, backward loop. With horizon lock off, this is how it should look like. So yeah, with horizon lock on, a power loop just gets all crazy and the GoPro doesn't know what to do with that type of thing. So we'll see it again with horizon lock on, power loop. Yeah, it's just doing crazy stuff. Now it looks cool in its own right, but that's not exactly what I did with the quad.
So those two flights that you guys just watched were with the horizon lock on, horizon lock off, both in that 2.7 with this Max Lens mod, which is something you add to the camera. It doesn't come with it. It's a $99 attachment you have to buy for the GoPro 9. I've done a lot of testing with this on snowboarding, and when you use it with the Max View mod off, like right here on the back, you turn it on and off like this. Okay. So once it's in max view, you see normally when you turn around, you can see like it looks like you're looking at a fisheye lens now, right? So to not get that as much, you actually have to switch it to linear or even closer. Yeah, so this is narrow. And you can see you can still see it in the corners when I move it real fast. So I think if you're going to use this for FPV, you're going to have to typically use that Max Lens mod feature on to not get those. But let's find out.
Okay. Now I did include this mode just for visual interest. Obviously it's going kind of crazy, acting a little bit strange. This isn't really a mode that you would ever use with FPV freestyle. Maybe you can get by with cruising. But anyway, let's move on to cruising. This is a video we shot later that day, and we're using horizon lock mode on. And as you can see on the lower right, we have the goggle view, so you can kind of see what the goggle view looked like through my FPV goggles, as well as what horizon lock is doing with the GoPro Hero 9. Now this example, I'm not really doing too much crazy stuff, not flipping and flopping, but as you can see as I'm moving, there's really no banking or tilting of the camera view with Horizon Lock on. There's a little bit of jitter though. I would say probably Real Steady Go is smoother. If you can use Real Steady Go over this, if you really want smooth footage, I think Real Steady does a little bit better than Hyper Smooth with Horizon Lock on with the Max Lens mod. Also, this is only 2.7K footage, so it's not super clear like 4K. Here's another example of Horizon Lock with train tracks. So as I'm kind of coming along down to really low on the train tracks, it's really creating a stable horizon lock, and that's pretty great for a shot like this. I think this is something that you could probably use in an environment where you needed to get a professional looking shot and didn't want to get some of those FPV, banking and swooping turns. Now here's Horizon Lock off. And so you can see we're tilted a little bit to the right by a few degrees, and we're following the train track on the bridge here. And you can just kind of see it's a little bit more fluid feeling, a little less robotic. Going up underneath this bridge and kind of moving to the right a little bit sideways, we have a little bit of a tilt with the drone with Horizon Lock off, but at the same time I kind of like it. However, you notice there are a few little jitters there. When the quad yaws left or right with Horizon Lock off with the Max Lens mod on, we get these weird jitters. See that stuttering? It's like with the panning of the drone, it can't handle it, it can't do it, and for some reason it's catching itself, and it's really apparent when you look at this drifting footage. Now, first of all, we'll have Horizon Lock on. This is a lake in Georgetown, Colorado, and we just found these guys with flat irons tuning and Sierra cars out there racing around the frozen lake. So this is Horizon Lock on, and it looks great. You can see in the goggle view just how much I was really pushing against some of that wind, especially when we're on the straightaways. You can see just how much I'm sideways with the drone, pushing against probably 35, 40 mile an hour gusts, no kidding, while also trying to fly with this vehicle going pretty quick on this frozen ice. We switched to Horizon Lock off, and I would dare say that this movement is ruined, because look at this. Look how it starts to hiccup and kind of jerk like that. And it's very annoying. Whenever I'm moving sideways and kind of panning around an object like this, it's happening. Now, we also see the extreme angle that I was flying at with Horizon Lock off, which isn't a deal breaker for me. I don't mind seeing that sometimes. But what is a deal breaker for me is just the twitching. It's so annoying, and it's really, I think that whole flight was probably ruined just because of the fact that we have that weird twitching happening. So thankfully I flew again with Horizon Lock on in this particular location, and I didn't have to deal with any of that, and we actually got a good flight experience out of it. So Sean, thank you for the use of your GoPro. Thank you for the use of your house and your vehicle the last couple days, coming to Colorado and getting this done.
And if you guys watching are interested in more GoPro footage, analyzation, how these things work, maybe not on FPVs, but just in general, subscribe to my channel too. I'm sure Ed will throw a link in the description below.
That's quite an estimation, but yes, I will. All right, happy flying, everybody.